What's up gamers, Dreamcastguy here, talking today about E3 2020, because as I record this video, we're about 100 days from the start of it. This is normally when the hype really starts to build up. We see game developers starting to drop hints, and big game publishers and stuff talking about how this is going to be the event of the century. And a lot of you have actually been reaching out and saying, Dreamcastguy, are you going to go to E3 2020? A lot of you know that this has been one of my biggest dreams. I've always liked the idea of someday going to E3 in person, to see these projects, to wander the halls and see this all for myself. But I've made the hard choice not to attend in 2020. But I want to talk about why, because I think that it will make sense to you, and what I have planned instead will probably be better than really flying out there. Now, first and foremost, we kind of just need to talk about the fact that E3 is not what it once was. The biggest thing being that back in the day, when E3 started 25 years ago, it was absolutely necessary. Game developers needed E3. This was pretty much the only time that a lot of them could show off their projects directly to the press. And as readers, this was the one time where we could really pick up a gaming magazine and read about the future, or see some real physical pictures that actually displayed what Metal Gear Solid 2 would look like, or things like that. E3 used to have a very, very defined purpose, but now in the digital age, it's just not really relevant. I mean, everybody could just throw a game trailer directly onto YouTube and get millions and millions of hits. I mean, look at pretty much any Nintendo Direct that's just streamed on YouTube now. These a lot of times will have hundreds of thousands of concurrent viewers, fans who are just in chat screaming about how excited they are for new stuff, for like downloadable content for Smash Brothers or things like Animal Crossing. I think it's pretty obvious that now we're in a much more focused medium. People, especially gamers, are so informed just on their own. People are able to seek this information out. And obviously, we're in the age of the YouTuber. I've had a chance to talk to like big gaming journalists sometimes from places like IGN or GameSpot or Kotaku, and something that's like an underlying sentiment is that E3 is kind of where they shine. They have like 10 different camera crews and 8 sets and 200 different hosts all popping on camera to talk about Devil May Cry and stuff like that. E3, in a way, has become a trade show of a different sort. It almost feels so tainted. It just seems so commercial when at a certain time it seemed so impassioned. And I think that a lot of people are starting to realize this, including some of the people who used to be professionally involved with E3. So a couple days ago, Geoff Keighley, the man behind the Game Awards, has officially said that he will not be attending E3 2020, which is pretty baffling because not only does this guy, he's gone to every single E3 since the Electronic Entertainment Expo became a thing. Literally, from the start until now, he has gone to every single one of them and a lot of times worked the event. And this year, he said, "Nuh-uh, I'm not even walking through the doors." When asked specifically about why he's making such a baffling choice, Geoff Keighley said this: "Based on what's been communicated to me about the show, I just don't feel comfortable participating. It's no secret that E3 needs to evolve, and I have lots of ideas around that, but I've decided to take a wait-and-see approach." That is some very strong talk, basically saying that it's just not worth his time. And I think we can all agree that Keighley definitely nailed it when he said that E3 needs to evolve. One of the strangest choices they've made in the last couple of years is opening it up to the public, making it more like a convention instead of like a conference. And I think that this was done because attendance had begun to drop. Less people, like big YouTubers or like big Twitch streamers, are willing to make the journey all the way over to California to see these games. And so the people who run E3 have decided to try and bolster these digits by allowing the general people to come in. If you're just a hardcore gamer and has some extra cash, you're able to go. this seems like a great idea, but simultaneously it's kind of ironically backfired because even less journalists are wanting to go now. I've actually talked to a lot of different writers and stuff, and they've said, I don't like E3 as much because it's just ultra crowded. It's no longer even possible sometimes to see a couple demos because you just spend an hour and a half fighting through throngs of different people. This is a little bit of a double-edged sword. I kind of thought about going this year for maybe one day or trying to check out 2 days of it, going in there and just buying like the gamer pass and looking around. But I don't know, even that just doesn't seem worth it because I looked it up. It costs $1,000 to get an E3 pass. If you want to go there and actually check out the show floor all 3 days of the event, it is $1,000 just to strut through the gates. I don't know about you guys, I'm not made of money. I'm actually kind of a broke-ass YouTuber, and here's the thing, I'm not willing to drop that amount of money. And, I mean, let's just face it, I am a smaller YouTuber. I don't know if I could even get a press pass or whatever to try and get in because I am basically a nobody. And when we're talking about cost, it doesn't even begin to scratch the surface when we're talking about flight, travel, being able to put myself up in a hotel, eating. I think the biggest thing though, and the main reason that I am just not interested in going to E3 2020 is it just doesn't seem like it's going to have nearly the amount of games. I mean, already we know that Sony is not showing up, which means that all of their first-party projects are definitely not getting revealed. As somebody who's super hyped about the idea of Horizon Zero Dawn 2, or there's been some like rumbles and rumors about maybe seeing some sort of like next Spider-Man, that is definitely 0% not going to be at E3. So that is a huge blow. I mean, really, it seems like a lot of people are going to be at E3. Microsoft is doing like their own sort of show at the Microsoft Center. So Xbox, while they will have demos on the floor, is kind of going to be off to the side, which means that if I wanted to try and run there and run back, that would be incredibly difficult. Nintendo is just doing a direct with more, of course, demos on the floor. It feels like less and less people professionally have any interest in the Electronic Entertainment Expo, and even if you go, there's a chance that you could be doxxed. Yeah, that's right. We're never going to forget the fact that last year, 2,000 people had their personal information leaked, and already people are leaking things off the website this year. Yes, that's right. It turns out that they didn't really upgrade the security of their websites at all, and people are seeing things like exhibitor lists and stuff way before they're publicly released. If you give your information now to the E3 Electronic Entertainment Expo, I mean, there's a good chance that somebody on the internet is going to have your personal number. It's ridiculous that E3 has managed to fall this far, but I just don't think that it's something that needs to be treated as seriously as it once was. But I want to do something different this year. So as many of you know, one of my best friends on YouTube, a guy I do a bunch of different work with, is SpawnWaveMedia. He is a buff beast who likes to try and report on a lot of very Nintendo-centric news and kind of things throughout the industry. Well, recently, SpawnWave has finally gotten his own office. He's constructed it, he's putting up desks and stuff, and he has said that what we should do is our own streams. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fly up to his place. I'm going to go and stay in his studio, and what we're going to do is for the entire week of E3, we want to do a live reaction to all the press conferences, which will be streamed on this channel and over on his channel, and then afterward, I'll make a video about each of the conferences talking about specifically what I thought was good and bad. I think that this will be a nice mix because it'll make it where obviously by not being on the floor, I think I'll be able to really kind of absorb the information better. I'll be able to see all the conferences, and I mean, the biggest thing, I'll be able to talk to you guys directly whenever cool stuff happens. My biggest prediction for this year is obviously that the Xbox Series X is going to be dominating E3. I think we'll finally hopefully see some actual real controller in the hands gameplay for things like Halo Infinite and stuff. So I'm very, very curious, and I think that this will make a good mix of allowing us to see the games and talk about the games even if we might not be able to play them. And if they decide to ghost drop a random demo on the PlayStation Store somehow, or if they do something like they throw throw up the first beta for Halo, we'll be able to play it right there co-op in person for you guys. So I think that this will be fun, and I mean, maybe this is just my point of view. I think that this is a better use of my time. Instead of going to E3, I'm going to enjoy E3 with you. What do you think about it though? Is this an idea that you think is good, or do you think I should actually try and fly out? Is this something you think really would be worth the thousands and thousands of dollars just to get that real on-the-floor footage? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm going to try and read pretty much every single comment on this video because this is something I'm still a little bit on the fence about. I'm nervous, and I mean, I need to buy plane tickets soon, so I'm either going to SpawnWave or I'm going to California. Let me know what you think, though. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I have been hanging out and partying up in Washington, D.C. the last couple days. If I look tired, I do apologize. I was busy worshiping the great god Keanu Reeves. Alright, I'm going to edit this video and take a nap. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.